We can't think of a better way to kick off a new convention year than to head down to PAX South in San Antonio, Texas. This place is an indie game breeding ground, and some of the big boys have a hard time passing on it due to the crowd that it draws each year. Love Thy Nerd couldn't miss this show, and we even brought our entire group of founders plus 10 members to love and serve our nerdy neighbors. They played games and built relationships, and that's what we want to talk about this week on the Season 2 premiere of the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network.
What's up, nerds? My name is Bubba Stallcup, and you're listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. And join with me live, legit live.
We're live, but like you're listening to this not live.
Well, but we are live.
They're live.
You're okay. Listening.
Like if you're listening, you would probably be live.
Right.
I mean, I don't know you could be dead in a spirit.
Like
really
an apparition, like a ghost. Can they hear? Hey, it's Matt Warmbier. It's Matt Warmbier here.
True.
I'm Matt Warmbier. Let's wrap this thing up.
We've also got with us Drew Dixon.
Hey, nerds.
It's not an apparition.
We are 3/5 of the Love Thy Nerd founders, the cohorts who put this mess together. Drew is our chief content nerd, handles all the website, makes sure the podcasts are smoking, and all the other video content. Anything that we do, Drew's got his hands on it, which is pretty cool. Makes us sound good and talk well. And we love both of those things.
Sometimes.
And Matt, you do something.
Yeah, I do lots of
Probably.
stuff. I do lots of stuff.
No, Matt
Playlists.
is our playlists, Spotify,
Chief
Spotify
playlist
bro.
nerd.
Yeah. Matt is our chief outreach nerd, which means that he puts together this trip and others like it.
Yep.
So if you want to get involved with Love Thy Nerd, then you're going to want to talk to Matt and make sure that you get on one of our next trips. And I think our next one is...
Phoenix Comic-Con.
Phoenix Comic-Con. That is an official announcement. That is a Love Thy Nerd Free Play Podcast exclusive. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. Ooh-wee. Hot takes, right? But you're going to want to contact Matt. Matt at lovethynerd.com. I got it right that time.
You did it.
I didn't even practice it. It's not even in my notes. It's
Not an apparition.
top of my head. But like I said, we are live from PAX South 2019, and this is our first show as Love Thy Nerd. First episode of Season 2 of Free Play. And before we get too far in, we want to do some shout-outs, because we know some people. We love a lot of people.
Hey.
And our first shout-out is going to go to Laura. That is Bauer's girlfriend's mom. Campbell's mom. So shout out Laura with a U.
Hey, Laura.
A-U.
Yep, that's right.
As we know. And shout out to all the other moms. Connie.
Hey, Mom. Kim.
Joy. That's Campo's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy.
Kathy.
My mom.
Okay.
Hey, Kathy.
Ooh-wee.
Want her to feel included.
Barbara.
Yeah, anything you want.
Yep.
Is that your mom?
No, I think it's Garrett's mom.
Oh, okay.
Lorraine.
I have no idea. No.
Garrett's mom.
Oh, is that? I know. Yeah, all the
Why
moms.
do I know that?
Shout out to all the mothers. But yeah,
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you for everybody who's listening. Also, we want to send another shout out to Geek Center Grace. This was actually our first time to be able to hang out and meet them, and that was pretty dang cool.
Yeah, it was.
Cool folks.
Yeah, it was good to get to meet them. I would recommend, my voice holds up for the rest of this podcast. I would recommend you guys going and joining their community. Hang out with them, see what they're doing. Just search Geeks Under Grace on Facebook. Check them out. And also, we got a couple other that we're going to push later on in the show here. But moving right along, because we've got a lot of stuff to get through. It's been a busy week for us. I say week because we didn't just get here on Thursday.
Yeah.
We have been in San Antonio since Monday and doing a retreat.
Yeah.
For us, for Love Thy Nerd, for you guys.
I'm medium exhausted.
Absolutely. We came into PAX South.
Yeah.
Toast.
We might need to come up with another name, because I think retreats are supposed to be like
Rest.
rejuvenating.
Okay.
yeah.
How about Boot camp.
Boot camp. There you go.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was.
It was pretty rigorous.
Yeah.
It was 3 days of at least 6 hours worth of meetings.
Oh, more than that. Yeah.
It was more than that.
Well,
6
I
hours
said at least get off my back.
Yeah.
Maybe each day had 6 hours plus.
Oh, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
I didn't mean 6 hours total. What did I say?
You just said 6 hours total.
I said at least 6 hours. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
It was at least an hour.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yep.
Many hours, starting at the butt crack of dawn at 11.
I had to make you guys shut up and stop talking about stuff so we could play some games.
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to play games
we did
too.
play some games. That was nice.
Got to play Innis.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Cool.
I don't want to say I've never heard of that game.
I had never really heard of it.
I think I've seen it. It is very pretty, and that's kind of what drew my eye to it. But I don't really know. I didn't know anything about it before then.
It's not a game that I would pick up and play on my own.
No.
It's Chris.
I have friends that would love to play it with me.
You have a
My
deep
neighbor
group?
is like a, combat area control kind of guy. He would love it.
I think the game is. It looks complex, but it's simple. Like it's simple. You can't do too much on each turn. So
yeah.
The thing that makes it tricky is that there's not like a clear end.
That's true.
It could go on and on.
And even when you think
or it could be really quick.
Yeah.
If you play your cards right.
It's really cool. Check it out. If you've got a group that's got time to learn and time to play, I think that game took us 3 hours.
I think so.
To play a 4-player game. But if you like long plays, it's worth it. We're not going to get into what the game is and how to play it and all that stuff. What else did we play? We played Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
Did play Arkham Horror and did
about
not
12
end well.
hours of Arkham Horror.
Did not end well.
Yeah.
Sucked
I
into the
slept
pits of
the
hell.
last two, but I was
You
there
did,
for
yeah.
most of it.
Sleepwalking.
Well, so we wouldn't start playing these games until after
9,
dinner.
10.
So like 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Later than we
rookie
should
move.
have. Yeah, we know better than this. Come on.
No, it's
We don't really.
We wouldn't have had any.
We
We
actually
wouldn't have had
don't.
any
You're right.
content for this podcast had we not stayed up till.
Yeah, it's been a lot of really
Stoop
late
30.
nights and a lot of early mornings. And it's been really
Played
good.
Not So Fast.
We played a little bit of Not
We
So
did not
Fast.
even get to finish that game.
Yeah, and it is
A game.
Not So Fast.
It's a game. It's a game you can
I'd
play.
say I like it. It's the sort of game I would really enjoy playing with my kids and with other friends who aren't super into games.
Yeah,
That's my defense.
Maybe if I
That's
played with the kids, I'd like it more. But maybe it was also the fact that we were coming out of a meeting, and I was like, all right, we have just a little bit of time before dinner. Let's play a game.
T-minus 2 seconds to play
Let's
this
play
game.
this game. Let's learn it and play it really fast. And I think we're all just hungry and tired.
Yeah.
We played, also, I think it was that night, too. We played Happy Little Accidents by Big G Creative.
Oh, yeah. That was good, too. Yeah.
Bob Ross art
Yep.
game. Oh, my gosh. Big G is...
It's really funny.
Those guys are great.
Yep, they really are.
I missed not seeing him here.
Yeah, I kind of hoped... I
Didn't see
expected
him at Unplugged
more...
either.
No, I didn't see him there either.
Yeah.
I should have known that there wouldn't be a lot of tabletop stuff here, but I just always maybe hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
Compared to other PAXs, I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see him. We'll probably see him at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Origins, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But we did. We played a lot of games. We talked about a lot of things. Guys, we looked back on 2018 and what it was. It's been a whirlwind 11 months for us.
Yeah.
From the change from Game Church to Love Thy Nerd, and then moving into how do we now do the same-ish thing, but the way we want to do it. How do we operate at a convention without a booth?
Mm-hmm.
How do we do, our outreach? How do we do our content now that we're producing so much more of it? Guys, if you go to lovethynerd.com, it is content. I feel like there are 5 articles or pieces of content at least every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys may have
We try. There's at least 5 pieces of content for sure every week, because now we've got 3 podcasts, and we're trying to put out at least a couple of educational articles a week to educate people about gaming and nerd culture. And we have an amazing group of writers that work really hard, and editors. So,
really pushing through with the thoughtful content creation pillar.
You guys are killing it.
It's a big deal. We're really trying to do it.
We started trying.
I think if you go to the website, it's we have rose tinted glasses. We're pretty biased here, but I think if you go to the website, you're going to see good content. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
There. And we have a lot more stuff in the works.
Yeah.
I guess Hector's article went up, didn't it?
We have a Facebook Live show now.
Ooh-wee.
Which is pretty rad.
Do we? Do we have one?
Bread Bros.
Do you Bird Bros, bro? Yeah, we have Beard Bros.
Yeah, that's one. Oh,
and,
yeah, that's right.
Well, we've tried to do something here at PAX. I think we've decided we're going to do something different for this show for Beard Bros. That's actually going to feed into next week's show.
Yep.
Where we kind of feature some of the games that we like. It's not going to be a review, but it will be featuring stuff. So look forward to that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It's going to be cool.
At this point, I don't want to get up out of the seat. My legs are tired.
Amen. That'll preach, brother.
Yeah. But I'm on my 4th cup of coffee already this morning.
How?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I rolled over and I just opened my mouth and dumped some in.
That's not what happened. I can tell you exactly what happened when you woke up.
What happened?
You had one eye covered by a pillow, rolled over.
Yeah.
You were one eye looking at your phone with your mouth. Your mouth was half open.
Yeah, well, I was tired. And then I sat up and I said, "Get yourself together, Matt. You can do this." And then I grabbed my phone and I opened Spotify and I went to Whitney Houston.
She was right there waiting for you.
She was just waiting there for me, and everybody wanted to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
Except for Bowers.
Well, no. It took him a little bit longer today, but he eventually popped right up.
It was good.
After his alarm went off.
At 5:30. I had to shut his alarm. Did I tell you that?
Yeah,
I shut his alarm off.
I knew he did because I didn't want to get up.
Like I was reaching over his head to shut off. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "I got you, bro. I got you."
And last night, I had told him, "Turn your alarm off. I will wake you up." Like, because this is now the 3rd morning in a row that his alarm has gone off. Not just once, but several times. So, anyways, I'm tired.
No, yeah, that's it. That was how our morning went. But we need to move on with the show. So let's talk a little bit about two major areas of PAX. And for us, we build relationships with people. We go around, we talk to new developers, we talk to nerds. We're looking right here. We're sitting right next to Gwaltney, and who promised us. I think it was a pinky promise.
I think it was.
He promised us he was not going to play TI, Twilight Imperium.
I don't know, guys.
And
I played it so much.
He's right there. This game manifested out of absolutely nowhere, and he has a full game. There were two lunatics, that walked up just out of the blue and said, "Yeah, okay. Yeah. 6 hours, no big deal."
One of them's never played.
Yeah, one's never played.
Ooh.
I don't think Leroy knew what he was getting into.
Yeah.
Really,
Shout out Leroy.
Hey, Leroy.
Yeah.
Shout out Leroy.
Chris Lee either have a friend for life or an enemy for life.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Probably both.
Friend of me.
And then another guy walked up and said, "Oh yeah, no, I'll play." And then, well, it's 6 hours, right? Oh yeah, I'll play Werewolf after. No big deal. It's whatever. I don't think the convention hall's open for that many hours. So
I think you're right.
Yeah. He'll figure it out, or he won't. It's one or the other.
I don't know.
They'll kick him out.
But we go around and we talk to different developers and continue relationships, building relationships, and we know a lot of people in the industry because we've taken the time to get to know them. We come in during media hour and forget to do media stuff and just talk to our friends. And I was really kicking myself, honestly, that not that we went and talked to James at Skybound Hudson, but that if you think about it, we could have done Resident Evil 2, we could have done Days Gone, we could have done these things that we could have done Minecraft, Escape Room, these things that literally the lines cap at 10 a.m. But we did. I
enjoyed what we did. I got to talk to some designers as well. Some video game designers I admire over at Finji.
Oh yeah, more on that later. Save it for the podcast.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You know them better than I do.
I
just
think
like their games.
When I used to come to these conventions, I would hustle to make sure I get to see everything. But once you go to so many of them, the best part is like seeing people that you know.
It's
like a reunion.
Like
I've chilled out.
It's a friendly reunion.
Friend reunion.
My personality is like go, just do as much as you possibly can. So I have to sort of pare back and go like, no, let's just spend some time chilling out, talking to some people.
Yeah.
Make sure
you did a good job of that this year, though.
Yeah, did better, I think.
I mean, it's not that we didn't get any content because you guys got a ton of content. You and Gara.
Plenty. Yeah.
But you guys, you got tons of stuff for Humans of Gaming, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But you got tons of stuff to be able to do that. But you did. I saw you walking around a little bit more, playing more games. It wasn't interview after interview after interview.
Yeah.
I think there's value in being able to just enjoy yourself at these conventions too.
Yeah.
Like us coming here is kind of a twofold. We want to love on the people and get to know them and promote their stuff, get to know them more in a real way. But also we're nerds and we want to be able to enjoy the stuff that they've poured their hearts into.
Yep.
I think we do a good job of that. We do a pretty good job. And one way that we do that is by the relationships, and it's not just, oh, hey, tell me about the new thing that's coming out and how's this going? But it's like, how's your family doing? Like, are you resting? Do you need anything? What can I get for you? Like tangible needs. We talked about that. Meeting tangible needs. And, we'll tell a couple quick stories. We went over and Matt and I and you and Drew, you and everybody that you brought over really with Side 9 Happiness. Adam and Brett and those guys over there, like they're blowing and going the whole show.
Oh yeah.
And Brett had severe allergies because Texas is trying to kill everybody. And so I had some Zyrtec D. So I'm just feeding this guy Zyrtec like for the whole weekend. And it's a legitimate, tangible way that we can be there and talking to them and hanging out with them and really just how are you doing? Like what's going on in your life today? The weird media, social media, as it were.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then also Dice Throne. So April Lynn is demoing Dice Throne.
Yeah, that's right.
Campaverde, John, is demoing over at Fowers Games.
Yep.
We're getting involved in these things and just being able to really be there to help them because getting in and demoing a game for them is huge, huge because they can't be everywhere. There's Gavin right there, Roxley. Gavin, how we doing? So Roxley is Dice Throne and those are our bros. We're hanging out there and we're doing all sorts of stuff with them and just demoing their games and helping them push product and just loving on them so that they can go eat or go to the bathroom.
Those are crazy.
Or whatever,
Yeah, and I think a lot too, like a lot of the guys on our team, the folks on our team, the people on our team are done a great job of just making friends here too. Like it was cool last night. We did our Love Thy Nerd meetup here, and almost everybody in our group was playing a game last night with somebody they met here that's not from our group.
Yep.
And
just making friends.
We try not to gather, right, like at booths. So it's one of the things we go over in our training. Don't monopolize a booth. But on the other hand, sometimes all of us being there can create excitement at a booth. Yeah. Because the more people are at a booth, really, regardless of what the thing is, people will stop and look at the thing. Yeah. So we did that a couple of times. Yeah. So our presence here. If you guys partnered with us in any way, if you partner us with us on a monthly basis at lovethynerd.com/partner, or if you personally helped any one of us get here or the Love the Nerd team or any of our our outreach people, just anything like that, you guys, you are making a difference. We were completely ridiculously validated. Maybe we'll get some of those stories later. I think that would be good to collect.
Definitely.
But we were validated in that this is exactly where God wants us to be.
Yep.
That this ministry is being effective. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's not just personal validation either. It's like other people that are coming up to us and saying, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, So, we do that with Dice Throne. We go over to Skybound, hang out with Lizzie, Funkhauser, and, play your game or, if in my case, sit there and talk to somebody else.
I play the game for you.
My back plays the game and wins. I won that game.
No, you eventually got up and someone took your spot after I had started your game for you and they won.
Sounds like you're making excuses.
I'm going to count that as my win too.
You good. So, but they're making a game over there. Skybound has 1,000 games. I think they have like 6 games hitting the market, Kickstarter and also just straight to. They have one coming out. It's like next week. Villainy and Valor?
Yeah,
it's Villainy and Valor. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their accessible RPG, which is great. I cannot freaking wait to play that game.
Yeah, it looked really fun.
I don't know how I missed that one.
It was the one that was on the far left side. It had all the dice that you roll. And you can
the one I tried to give away for them. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
Like it has a Gargamel boss character that looks really great.
Mordok.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Mordok.
Yeah, Mordok. So, I mean, just really helping those guys get people over there. Not that they need our... What are you doing?
Just covering the microphone from
No,
all
you're
the
fine.
beats.
That's not how a microphone works. But, just getting people over there. Not that they needed our help, because they had PAX pins that they were giving away if you demo the game, and it was just...
I got one.
Well, I didn't get
Brag
one. I
much.
won that game. But you're going to want to go and find... this is going to be a straight-to-retail game. It's The Walking Dead Something to Fear. This is Derek and Lizzie Funkhauser of Board Game Spotlight, published through, straight on through Skybound, Walking Dead, officially licensed game. It's a hyper trick-taking win game.
Yep.
It's easy to win. I mean, you win without even trying to play it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
If I've
You're
learned
right.
anything about that game, it's super easy. And over in Board Game Spotlight on Facebook, they have also go join it. They're great. They've done live demos, and they'll probably do more because, well, it's their game. So if you want to see how it's played and you weren't here, you can go over there. So check out Skybound. Tell James Hudson, hey, he runs the tabletop division over there. And they got Tidal Blades coming out. I'm crazy excited about Tidal Blades.
Yep.
Bummed it wasn't here, but I get it.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be here.
Get it. I understand. Another thing you're not going to want to sleep on from our Dice Throne Bros is Pog Throne. You heard me correctly.
Announced.
February. I can never say that. I try to say all the letters in that word, and I just said
February.
yeah. February the 14th, Valentine's Day. What better way to show love than by backing a Kickstarter? I'm going to back the heck out of that game.
Yeah.
Whatever the super duper deluxe thing is, I'm going to get it. They've got a lot of great ideas for it. And we watched, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I watched 2 people break the slammers.
Really?
What?
Yeah, you just throwing them down, crack.
No way.
Also, I watched the kid, you were there for this.
Oh.
Kid walked up to it. And if you don't know what Pogs are, just go Google Pogs. It's Pogs.
He'd never seen Pogs before.
Ever. It's like a 13-year-old kid.
Right. I want to
makes
give him
sense.
a friendly word of advice, because most new people I've seen play it, like, they're really gentle. They throw it and just kind of like flops off to the side. And I said, hey, here's some advice for you. Throw it as hard as you can.
Go hard, throw hard. That was
Right.
the advice.
Go
yeah.
hard, throw hard. So I did not expect him to do what he did. He wound up like over his
Cartoon
head.
wound.
Yeah. And threw it down so hard that it bounced off the stack, which I don't think moved.
No.
Threw it so hard.
I don't think he
And
even
it
hit the
bounced-
stack.
I don't know. He
Whiffed. There's Manny
Either way-
Tremblay right there. We're talking about his game.
he hit the table and it bounced up and hit his brother right in the face.
It's just
like the very first throw of the entire game.
Was
like
he okay?
yeah, he was fine.
He
was,
didn't
I think
even move.
No, I think he was a little bit stunned. Like,
Legit stunned.
is this how this game's supposed to play? You try to hit it off the
Is that
table
one?
and-
That's one damage?
Yeah, 1 damage into my face. I almost
Real
peed
damage.
myself. It was so funny.
Best kind.
IRL damage.
I had to hey, reel it back. Don't throw it through the table. Just hit the stack firmly.
That's really on you.
It
Yeah.
is my fault. I think
That
the table probably
face
didn't do
injury.
it.
There were enough people that was a moment. Like, it was great.
I wish
it
I
wasn't
had
in a
been recording
vacuum.
that.
But I mean, it's a really cool game. You guys will see it more and more and more because we're gonna push heavy in the community.
I think that's my favorite part of that game is the chaos that sometimes unfolds.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's a dexterity game, and that's kind of your sweet spot, isn't it?
I do.
We played
I do
Tokyo
like-
Highway this week.
Yeah, I do like dexterity games.
Yeah. So we'll push more about that. We'll talk more about the mechanics. We'll have Nate and Manny on the show, and we'll really push that a lot. But seriously, guys, you're going to want to get that on the 14th of February, 2019, the year of our Lord. Let's move the show along. We've got Drew here, and we don't have Drew very often. Get him on Beard Bros every now and again. Want to do more of that.
Yeah.
And also, Drew's got some stuff coming with demos and reviews and playthroughs with his kids that he's doing. So look for some video content on that coming soon. But you are not just content bro, but you are also the host. Gwaltney's there sometimes too, of Humans of Gaming.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that right quick.
Yeah, so Humans of Gaming is open and honest conversations about games, life, and belief. And we mostly interview game designers, both board games and video games. And then also recently we've just tried to start having other interesting people in the industry on.
Yeah.
So we had like Rachel Coert, who's here at PAX and did several panels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she wrote a book called A Parent's Guide to Video Games.
Nice.
She's a psychologist, so she studied that field extensively. super smart. That was really fun. So, we're trying to mix up and have all different kinds of people on. But we got a couple episodes I'll mention coming up that I'm pretty excited about. One will be a bunch of interviews with designers here at PAX South. And then another I will mention is that Hypnospace Outlaw is coming out very soon. It's a super weird and delightful game where you're like on the early internet, like late 90s, 2000s era internet.
Yeah.
And he actually,
Jay
Tholen, who's going to come on the pod, who we recorded an episode with, it'll be up soon.
We use his music,
It's got some of his music in there, but also, and we use his music on the podcast, but it's this just retro internet he created. And you surf it, and you're basically like a internet police. Like, you're making sure people aren't being awful to each other in forums, making sure there's no like copyright infringement going on. I've never played anything like it. It's delightful.
It sounds like being a mod for a group. I mean,
yeah. He sent us an early
yeah.
build of it, so before like the pre-retail version, and it's great.
Did you tell him that we do that on the regs and thanks but no thanks? And
yeah, so
our internet's faster.
And you guys mentioned Brett Vance. He'll be on the podcast soon too with Cyanide and Happiness.
Yeah,
awesome.
So we had a great
guy.
conversation with him.
That is an interesting relationship. I mean, it's not interesting weird. Well, I guess it is interesting weird. Just the whole story. I'm sure he gets into that on podcast.
Yeah, it's sort of like a here's me hinting for that episode. Is that he's a Christian.
You just jump straight into spoilers? Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just interesting because he talks about what it's like to be a Christian and work at a company where
Google Cyanide and Happiness. Google Joking
Not
Hazard.
around your kids.
So the humor of Cyanide and Happiness and Joking Hazard is obviously like pretty dark and
crude.
Yeah, it's so I just loved hearing his perspective.
It's not very Christian.
Yeah, that's what we'll say.
Yeah, air quotes.
Heavy air quotes. But those guys, the Cyanide and Happiness guys,
they're
are
they're so
best.
funny.
Yeah,
my gosh, such fun. So you've got those episodes coming up. Did you guys do a season break? Did we end up doing that, or you just?
We took a little break for Christmas and New Year's, but we're back on every week now.
Yeah, that is a weekly podcast. Humans of Gaming and Free Play are both weekly podcasts. And then we also have our our comic book podcast with Chris and Hector. And that is the Pull List, and it is a bi-weekly.
And I will say that if you haven't rated and reviewed all of our podcasts, please go do that right now.
Please.
Rate each of them.
Rate each of them. Share them if you like them. We want to reach as many people as we can.
Yeah.
We realize we're all different podcasts, so if you have a friend or family or whatever you think would enjoy what we're doing, please do it.
And we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Twinder, Spitcher, all the things. So if you can't find us, please let me know. Bubba at lovethynerd.com, and I'll do my best, probably with a lot of help from Clausen, to get us wherever we need to be. It's also worth noting that there's changes coming to this podcast, to Free Play, that we flew by the seat of our pants for every single episode, and it was rough. If you enjoyed it, I'm glad that you did. I enjoyed recording them, but it was rough. We didn't have anybody who was producing content for us, and so Kate, our third wheel, is actually going to of the tricycle. It's not
the third wheel of the Triforce.
Absolutely.
Equals wheel.
Equilateral. She is going to be producing the show for us. And so all the content that we do is going to be produced by Kate. And I'm super freaking pumped about that because, to be honest, she brings a lot of the best stuff we did on Free Play anyway. So be looking forward to that this season. And also, I was cutting and editing and producing and all the stuff last season. Bump that noise. Clausen, our chief audio bro, is going to be editing this podcast. He does Humans of Gaming. He also does Pull List. So he is going to be El Jefe in charge of the final cut for each one of these awesome episodes. And thanks in advance to both of them for being willing to do that so that we don't have to.
We got other stuff to do.
Yeah. Not that they don't, but...
Right.
Okay, so PAX South. Enough of that. Yeah. Here we are. PAX South. We played some games.
We did.
And I'll go ahead and start. we're just going to get into it. We're going to tell you some of the games that we played, and no, this isn't a review or anything like that. And it's just we want you guys to see and hear and know some of the things that we saw and heard and know. And so one of those for me was a game called Zarvat. And did you play it, Matt?
I played Zarvat.
Okay.
I got beat by a 12-year-old.
Okay, so you played a video game. Awesome.
Yeah.
It is what I feel like we're coming back around to, and it did not start this trend, but couch co-op.
Yeah.
It needs to happen.
I wanted to give the Switch credit, but I don't think the Switch can even take credit for couch co-op because we played a bunch of games. We've been playing a bunch that were PlayStation or Xbox indie titles. Mm-hmm. You're not seeing a lot of AAA titles go couch co-op. Tons of people on one screen, but the Switch for some reason is a handheld console that
they're doing.
Not a lot of people play in docked mode.
Mm-hmm.
Is really blowing and going with all of this couch co-op stuff. So that's Zarvat, right? Like it tiny. Think stick bold size, play area, smaller than Gang Beasts, but it has both of those flavors in it, where you are a cube. And you can do like one of three things. You can jump, you can do a spin attack, and you can shoot little laser beams.
There's some combinations there if you press certain things.
I said one of. You can do both. And I think all of them have a charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it has some different things that you can do, and it's the first to 5 kills. It's over. So the games are short, high energy, super exciting, draws a crowd.
Yep.
And
even though you're a block, it looks really good.
It looks
it's weird
and plays smooth.
Yeah,
super smooth.
And I kind of like how they did that because it makes you focus more on the mechanics in a way.
Yeah,
it's not like you're this ninja or whatever, and so it really pares down. Like I haven't played it myself, but I watched some people play it, and
you can play it today though.
It's not. It's top of my list.
It was made by one guy, and the games industry has a really weird feel to it right now because we're coming off the heels of all the crunch and all this stuff. Yeah. And then you hear that's like from the big ones, right? Like you hear about these AAAs that aren't paying their creators and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
And then you hear stories about one guy that hustles and makes a game that you cannot help but love.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I asked him. His name's Sam. He's a Snow Hydra, at Snow Hydra on all socials. And I asked him, I was like, hey man, how did you do this game? Like, what was the process? Like, it was just me. Made a game.
Did it.
And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, did you, was this a school project? And he goes, oh no, I didn't go to school.
Yeah.
The dude just taught himself Unity and game development and the logic and coding and optimizing and all that stuff.
Crazy.
And that should be a testament to just sheer will, and that if he can, not that he's nobody, but like honestly, if he can do it, anybody can freaking do it. If you want to make a game, go make a game. Learn how to do it.
And the cool thing too, if you get into that scene, the indie scene, is that there are so many other designers that have been there too, and somebody helped them. And so a lot of these indie designers really do a great job of supporting one another. They have a really close-knit community where hey, you need some help learning Unity? Hey, I'll get on a call with you and we'll do it. And there's a really close-knit. There's a lot we can learn from how they help each other.
And I think that kind of brings you into your next game too, because go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Because this next game, Bubba's going to talk about, these guys actually work together, Sam and Line.
So it's Sam and Jonah.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't do that to me, bro. You got not that part of my notes.
I don't have the card.
But no, so Sam of Snow Hydra, and Jonah of, and this is the best, because Jonah's his name, so this is his Twitter handle, Whale Food Games. That is a Jesus joke. You'll get that later.
I actually just got it.
I'm glad you guys can experience that with Matt.
There it is.
And landed. Jonah and Sam, they work. They don't work together, but they work in very legitimate physical space, close proximity. Yeah. And their booths are literally on the other side of a curtain. So Sam's on one side, Jonah's on the other. And Jonah does this game called Kung Fu Kickball, which, again, another 4-player couch co-op, where, I mean, you've played this game before in some iteration, but you have 2 players, and they're on teams. It's I don't know.
They're Kung Fu masters.
Yeah, it looks like a platformer.
Yeah.
It's 2D. It's head on.
Yeah.
And you're trying to kick a kickball into a bell on the other side.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, cool story, bro. You have got to play this game.
It's so fun.
You've got to see it. You've got to play it. I have something on my Instagram that you can look at. I did a video of them playing it. Just watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about that game. I watched professional video game players. I think it was Cloud9.
Oh, really?
Play this game. They
Here?
were, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, they were really
it was
good.
Cloud9 or Nexus, or it was one of them. Maybe both of them. But they were like on another level. They never played this game.
Yeah.
But when you play competitively for a living, like that's what was going on. And it was crazy watching them play. I made a joke. I was like, oh, this dude's trying to get sponsored. Because there was a guy who every time it got close to the bell, he would block it.
Yeah.
I mean, like
He's
real
so good.
close. And little did I know that he was sponsored.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Not for that,
yeah.
but just in general,
Right.
as life and living and stuff. But Kung Fu Kickball, it's out on nowhere right now. Not out yet.
Put it on your Steam wish
Is it
list.
on early access?
Oh, you can put it on your Steam wish list here.
Yeah, that's right. Steam.
You can get Zarvot on Steam as well. Yeah. But it's also out on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Kung Fu Kickball is coming to Switch.
Yeah.
So
Rad.
The thing that I loved about Kung Fu Kickball is that, like, your character does all these Kung Fu moves, right? And so, like, if you want, when you're playing 2v2, you can just rush the other team and start kicking them while your teammate gets the ball. And, like, it just...
You forget about that when you start
it's
playing.
a whole other element of
and
the
then
game,
I had somebody come up and start doing that to me. I was like, "What's going on?" Oh, they're playing the game.
You're actually doing
They're
this
playing
right.
the game.
You're doing this the right way.
Yeah.
That's why you're
And
not
it's
sponsored.
also, like, I appreciate that you shared
about
about the pro gamer guys, folks doing that, because I can tell there's a real skill to being good at this game. Like, easy to learn, anybody can pick it up and play it, but, like, if you want to be really good at this, there's a lot of skill involved.
I think the physics are intentionally off, just slightly. Like, the ball doesn't fall nearly as fast as you think it would.
Yeah.
You glide a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a kung fu bro or sister.
My panda?
Like a panda. Yeah.
Finger.
And this is a kickball, not a...
But it's good. I mean, it really is. I could talk about this game for a long time, but I really just want to play it. These 2 games are fun. Like, I got up from the demo smiling.
Yeah.
I don't leave every demo smiling.
Yeah.
But these 2, Zarvot, Zarvot, and Kung Fu Kickball, you're just, if you get a chance, play them. You don't have to have a screaming PC. This isn't Crysis 3 on ultra high. Like, it's 2D or 3D in Zarvot's case, but it's not high intensity, strain on your computer. And the last one I played, and then I'll shut up and let you guys talk about whatever it is you're doing, is a game called Shot 1, and you've played this game before. I'm looking at everybody in podcast.
Well, I had after this weekend.
You've played this game before. It's Windjammers.
Okay.
If you played Windjammers, it legit is upgraded Windjammers.
Yeah.
There was a game that came out called Disc Jam. I don't know if you remember Disc Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disc Jam was a third-person Windjammers.
Okay.
And it was great. It gave you upgrades that you wanted.
Yeah.
You could still block and power up and throw. I'm sorry, let me back up. If you've never played Windjammers, Windjammers is a retro game. I think it was on the Genesis.
Yeah. I think so.
They have it re-released through Limited Run on the PlayStation 4, and I think you can get it on the PlayStation 4 store as well. But it's battle frisbee, 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah.
Frisbee.
Yep.
Where you're trying to throw the disc into your opponent's goal.
It's fun. It's
super fun,
challenging, and like in a good way. Easy to learn, hard to be good at.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So it was pixel art when it was Windjammers because 32-bit Genesis, but on this it's full 3D polished. Still the same look,
cool.
Right.
top down.
Yeah.
Isometric. But you get all the power-ups that Disc Jam had.
Yeah.
Now inside, what I think is a better. I think it's a better format for it.
Yeah. That's cool.
The game is called Shot One.
Not one shot.
Not one shot. Do not shot one.
Yeah.
You only get shot one. Do not miss your chance.
Mom spaghetti.
Excuse me. But it is not available at all. Period.
It's coming, right?
2020.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, like this
long.
game. They said this game's only been in development for like 6 months.
No, not long at all. It played well.
It's great. It's smooth. It's
Yep.
fun. You don't want to stop playing it. I could see it being competitive. This really is a 1v1 me, bro. Like I'm not trying to play Rocket League against somebody 1v1, but this is designed 1v1. Looks like they're gonna have a bunch of characters and modes that you can play.
Yep.
Versus arcade. So I think I saw a story mode in there, but
Sweet.
all of it is subject to change, even the name. So it's a working title for them. And these guys that are putting it out, their studio name is Red Moon Workshop. So check them out. Maybe you can get in on an alpha or a beta when it drops. But those are my 3 games that I thought were pretty great. I picked video games, guys. I went out of my
Good job.
comfort zone and
Proud of you.
did some
Good job, man.
some video games. But Drew, this is your comfort zone. This is your wheelhouse.
Sure.
So talk to me about your video games.
So there's 2 I want to mention. It's funny, it was kind of a bit of a theme here. Multiplayer games.
Ooh. Don't call it a comeback.
So Bowl Cut Studios is putting out a game. It's in, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's in early access called Mage Quit. And it's like you can play 8 players on one screen, like on one TV,
Nice.
or you can also play online. It's gonna have an online mode, and it's your mages trying to hit each other with spells and knock each other off the level and kill each other, basically.
Okay.
But like you start out simple with just one spell, and then each round it adds like another spell or another mechanic. So you kind of learn as you play these different rounds. End of like 8 rounds or 9 rounds, I think there's a winner. Gara won and bragged about it a lot.
Of course. Sounds like
Not interested in the rest of the story. No.
But you can like curve. You can curve your spells too. There's defensive spells as you go, so you like spells that can help you block things at just the right time.
That sounds
block other
cool.
people's spells. So like, I mean, it was one of the most fun games to watch too here. Like people would stop and just watch these kind
Couch
of epic
co-op,
matches.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Brett Pennings, I think, was the guy that we interviewed. Was super nice, and yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very joyful game.
Give me more couch co-op.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Because that, I don't want to dwell, but like, was the game Killer Queen? Killer Queen?
Oh, yeah.
Killer Queen.
The arcade one.
Yeah, so, and that was like, everybody wants to play Killer Queen. There's a cabinet here of it.
That's what I want. Like, I want an arcade of just games like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the Arrow one? I just blanked on it.
Towerfall.
Towerfall, sorry.
Yeah.
Towerfall and Nidhogg and,
Joust.
yeah, sure.
Did you just joust me?
But like what? Like there's all these classic arcades popping up everywhere and classic arcade bars and stuff all over big cities and things. And those are great, and I love them.
Man.
Like
I don't know what's happening, but arcades are coming back.
I like that combined with like the new, because I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like these newer couch co-op games are just better.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're tighter. They're more creative. Like we've just advanced.
Yeah,
in the
I
video
wish I
space.
knew what I knew now.
The
when I
problem
was
is that people
younger.
don't have the nostalgia for those, but I'm convinced that if you could get people to sit down to those types of games, like an arcade full of them, they would be there all day.
I think you're
It would
right.
be amazing.
You're describing a Dave and Buster's right
You
now.
guys want to start a business?
Yeah, but Dave & Buster's has like a...
We could have bowling.
Yeah.
Dave & Buster's has like, like the little like Facebook games, or not Facebook, but
Yeah, I gotcha.
like iOS games
Yeah.
that are on big screens and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's not like the really cool indie
It's called
stuff.
Crossy Roads, and you're throwing serious shade at Crossy
Not that
Roads.
they're bad.
Great, now they're not a sponsor anymore.
Crossy
Right.
Roads is okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Crossy
It's
Roads.
good. It's good.
Oh,
not
man.
great.
Good, not great. Okay, so Mage Quit. What else?
So the other game that I want to mention is by Vlambeer, and it's called Ultra Bugs. So Vlambeer has like only basically put out huge, successful indie, not huge games, but just hugely successful really accessible indie games like Nuclear Throne and Luftrausers and Super Crate Box. And so everything they do is just like delightful. So this is the same vein. It's really easy to pick up and play, but super challenging. So it's it's a shmup, a shoot 'em up, like Galaga style, like
shmup. Write it down. Write it.
You didn't know that term?
No.
That's like a thing.
Noted.
But so like Galaga or whatever, or R-Type, that kind of thing. But there's all these bugs that you shoot. But every time you shoot a bug, it spawns more bugs. Like shooting makes it harder, but you have to shoot.
Every time?
Yeah.
Even
every
you
bug
shoot
you
the next
kill
bug,
is going to like spawn. It's going to make it more multiplies.
How do you win?
So
is there
it's
a
high
win?
score. You shoot for high score.
Okay.
And that's what I love is that he said, I talked to Rami Ismail, and he's one half of Lambier. That's actually his title. He has a partner, and they both call themselves one half of Lambier. That's their official, yeah. It's Rami and JW, and they're both just super fun to talk to as well. And he said they specifically made it. There's all these games that take forever to play and dominate your life.
Yes.
And he's like, no, each one is
Have you
something
heard
you
of
could play.
Twilight Imperium?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Something you could play for 5 or 10 minutes with a friend and trade trying to get the high score, and
put it down.
You put it down.
Man,
sounds awesome.
So, and it was fun. They had a high score, at the booth. Like, hey, try to beat this, and I got about halfway to the high score. A little over halfway, actually.
All right.
Hey, brag about it. Come on.
Give some credit here.
Yeah. We'll make sure that Jen hears about it.
Yeah.
Matt, did you play any games?
I played some games, yeah.
Do you want to talk about them?
No, I think that's probably it. Let's call it a wrap, guys. I'm trying to collect my thoughts.
They were games.
Yeah, they were games. The very first day we walked in, you guys got in before I did because you were granted the
You don't have to say it like
exclusive
that.
media access, and I got to stand in line with the common folk.
In excess.
Which was good. I actually met some people, and we met them again yesterday, Bubba and Matt, and not us. They were also Bubba and Matt, which is weird.
It's the most bizarre thing.
In another
Yeah.
dimension.
Parallel universe.
Yes, it was really strange. Anyway, the very first game, right when I found you guys, and it was the very first row of the convention, and my eye was immediately drawn to this adventurous fox.
Yeah.
And the game is Tunic from Finji.
So good.
It has like an isometric view. It's a very much a Zelda style kind of adventure game, trying to solve puzzles. You're going around.
It's an action RPG.
Yeah, action RPG.
Yeah, there's the word.
There you go.
It's a shmup.
It's a shmup.
It's not a shmup.
It's not.
You're a shmup.
Slice them up? No. You're just trying to solve puzzles and kind of continue through this game. It's cute. It's fun. I'm always on the lookout for kind of like that in-between Zelda game because that's just where my heart goes to. And I know you guys spoke on these, couch co-op games. Like this would be like,
you want to play with less people.
Yeah, it's this cave of selfishness. I want to be alone. Let me play my games, please.
I could also see that being a game that you like, kind of swap controllers with your kids.
Yeah. We spoke with.
Just play all of it.
Yeah, or just play all of it.
We spoke with the community manager. He said that he has been watching this demo be played for months, a very long time, and there's a boss at the end of this demo. They have that. He said he's only seen one person beat it, and everyone else just can't make it through. So it's going to be a difficult game. Yeah, it's a difficult game, but I think one of those games. Yeah, very dodgy.
If you play Hyperlight, it feels a lot like Hyperlight Drifter. It doesn't tell you anything.
Like a cuter Hyperlight.
Right.
Yeah, it's low poly polished.
Yeah.
So it's 3D. It's not 2.5 or anything like that. It's full 3D.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're a fox, and you don't start with any weapons. You don't know how to shoot or block or run or anything.
Most of the language that you see in the game, the dialogue, it's not real words.
It looks like rune.
Yeah, and they'll give you kind of some key elements like sword or like things that like little clues along the way.
It mocks you with how little. It does not want you to know anything. They told you that, and it mocks you because you'll see a dialogue box pop up, and it's in that gibberish language in it.
Yeah.
And there's not like, I'll push A to do this. It's just you had to click this to get that dialogue box, and you're never going to know
they're
what
like basically hand creating that 3D world too. Like they're not. It's not just like grabbing Unity assets for all the trees or something.
Yeah.
Like it's all.
They're doing. It looks beautiful. It definitely drew me in, and
it's coming out on Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox.
It's coming out on Steam too.
Yeah,
obviously.
and I think.
And Mac and some other things.
Yeah, it's going to be an Xbox exclusive as far as console. Yeah.
I told him I would play it like an unhealthy amount of that game.
Yeah, it's
on
so
Switch.
Good. Yep. So put it on Switch, please.
Yeah.
You're friends kind of with that. With
Finji.
Finji, right?
Yeah. Becca Saltzman and Adam Saltzman started Finji, and I know them a little bit. So
I'll call you guys friends.
Brag much? Jeez.
I know them a little bit, just enough to like ask them to do it and then ignore me.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, like a true friend.
Yeah.
And so that's Tunic by Finji. In the other game, every PAX has a tabletop. What do you call it?
PAX South does the Indie Showcase.
Yeah, Indie Showcase. There we are.
But I will say this, like, back to that whole thing about Switch, like, it's going to be on Switch. You know what I mean?
It will be.
I hope so.
It's
like,
just it's time.
I'm not saying this officially, but every indie game that has a lot of attention behind it, which that one does, like ends up on Switch.
Well, they have a Microsoft exclusive contract.
Yeah, that's what
right now. For now,
it's cash money, doll hairs.
Yeah, I think it will be eventually just another. Yeah.
So I'll get it on my Xbox and then I'll play it on my Switch later. It's like not like I did.
Right.
Not like I didn't buy Diablo 3 on 3 consoles. 4. I had it on Mac too.
I gotcha.
Oh my gosh, do I have a problem?
You do. It's intervention time.
I can quit anytime I want to.
So PAX South has an indie showcase where they take up and coming tabletop games. Ones that aren't to Kickstarter yet, ones that maybe just have been out for a little while, but ones they've chosen to bring into their show and showcase their games. And one we got to sit down and play. It's called Hermetica. I hope I'm saying that right. He actually didn't tell us.
Nailed it.
Chris.
I don't think he knows how to say it.
No, he just made it.
It's not harmonica.
Yeah. We sat down with the creator, Chris, and this game is it's kind of like a chess style game.
Yes.
Where each of your little they're kind of like discs almost, flattened marbles with metal rings on them.
That's what he said. So it's like it's a disc with resin on both sides, and a metal ring around the inside of it.
So they slide well on this play mat. You're trying to get your big. Trying to get there's a sun and a moon. Each player, one has a sun, one has a moon, and you're trying to get your sun and your moon to the opposite side of the board, aka the horizon. And you also have little discs like there's water, earth, fire, and each of those discs kind of have different abilities.
With their powers combined, their Captain Planet.
Right, and you use those abilities to kind of squash out the other player's stuff.
Each one has a movement and an attack mechanic. Some move pieces around the board.
It's kind of like an Onitama.
I don't even know why you even try.
I think that's what the game's called, where you're trying to get your sensei to the other side of the board. Same kind of feel there, but super fun, super like it's easy,
accessible,
but complex at the same time. Kind of like chess. Like if you can learn how people move, like you can play the game.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like there's strategy and trying to think ahead and plan and work through. So. I want to play more of this game.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I think we're getting a demo copy, so
I want to play more.
Yeah. Supposed to go see him after the show.
Let's make it happen. So hopefully we'll be able to play it more. We'll take some more pictures. I've taken a couple. I don't think we've posted yet, but going to Kickstarter
soonish. TM.
Yep. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to play it, Drew, you should.
Yeah,
we'll definitely let everybody know when it comes.
Yeah, we'll get some more information.
For sure. Because it was fun. I mean, we walked around that indie showcase for a while, and I mean, honestly, that showcase works because that's where Dice Throne started.
That's where Yukon Salon was.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, that's here.
Yeah, the one copy in the world.
I want to go get it.
I saw one over there called the Eschaton. Did you try that one?
No, I saw it. I didn't try it.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a dark religious game where you're trying to get.
It's right up my alley.
Invite some dark, like, god to destroy the world. That's what Eschaton means, like end of the world.
Oh, okay.
The end.
Oh, eschatology. I get it. I got you now. Yeah.
Anyway. Not an endorsement. Could be
not a sponsor
or something.
Unless they want to be.
But
we'll see. We'll talk.
So Hermetica was the one I chose for my second one. Chris Modica. It is published by IFF Studios. I don't.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, check them out.
Sounds great.
And there are tons and tons and tons and tons more games. Drew has all of the interviews that he did. We've got some video content that's coming with that, and you'll hear all of them. Just go subscribe to Humans of Gaming on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts, and you'll get all that. And if you haven't already, go back and listen to the ones that we did from PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 episodes? 2?
2 for PAX Unplugged,
2?
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of great interviews. I mean, I learned a ton about these developers because of those interviews.
Yeah.
Like how Root evolved from this massive war game background to become this cutesy little, asymmetric area control game. It's just bananas,
Yeah, that was cool because we got to talk to like Jonathan Gilmour, who made Dinosaur Island, and he also worked on Dead of Winter, I think.
Yeah.
And we talked to the guy who made Dead of Winter.
Yeah, Isaac Vega.
Isaac Vega, who was super cool. So like
Neon
some really
Gods,
like
all sorts of stuff.
Some guys who've done some really cool work in the board game industry are on those episodes.
And we don't play favorites. If Drew finds somebody that he thinks will have a good story, that's who we get on the podcast. So, and also, I mean, follow us, guys. We are Free Play Podcast. You can on all the same places, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We also have Twitter, at Free Play Podcast. Free Play, at Free Play.
Seems legit.
I don't know.
We'll
look it up.
Later.
I don't do the socials. Kate's not here. She's social bro. And also, I mean, check us out on Beard Bros. We're on Twitter as well, at Beard Bros LTN. And Matt gave me the thumbs up, so I must have said something correctly. And, also find us on Love Thy Nerd, just everywhere, at Love Thy Nerd. All the socials. Check us out just about every Friday, sans this Friday that we had. We do Beard Bros on our Facebook page, and we normally review games that we play. We get a bunch of review copies. Not this show. It's not a tabletop show. This is a video game show. We'll probably have some codes that we do. Those will probably turn more into articles than anything. It's just the nature of that content. But Matt and I will do some tabletop stuff, because that's really kind of our bend right now. But we're not limited. We're not limited to tabletop.
No, we're not.
No. If we get a copy of Tunic or something like that, and we want to do that video is kind of a pretty dope place to do some stuff like that. So we're not boxed into board games, but that's usually what we do, and it's every Friday. And we also have our podcast, like we talked about. We have the Pull List, and that is a bi-weekly podcast where Chris and Hector talk about all sorts of nerdy, geeky things with comic books, which I'm sure they're going to be talking about how DC is dropping the extended universe and going more solo content. You see that? Spoilers. Save it for the podcast.
Wow.
I read the internet. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us and coming on this journey with us for Love Thy Nerd for the past 11 months and going forward. We got a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing next year, this year in 2019, and the teaser here is LTN Con.
Yeah.
Q4 2019. Everything is tentative. I think the only thing we've settled on is the name.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. But we want to use that as a time to equip you guys and teach you guys and help you take what we do back home to where you do.
And play games.
We're just going to play games all the time. There will be a bunch of time for that. We're specifically carving out time to play games.
It's important.
Yeah, it's very important because that's a big part of what we do. But, guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Free Play Podcast, episode 1 of season 2. Hey, come on, man. It's still early.
There. I know.
It's noon. Yeah. It's not even tomorrow yet. It's noon. We're here. Yeah. And we were well under an hour. Look at that.
We're doing it.
Nailed it. But we will catch you next week. Remember, catch us on all the social media, at Love Thy Nerd. Follow Humans of Gaming. Follow Free Play.
Just do it.
All the things. Pull this podcast, Beard Bros. Are we doing too much? It's not important. Don't tell Chris.
Well, that's why you're not doing the editing.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving somebody else. But yeah, thanks to Kate for not producing this, and also thanks for Clausen, our cut man, for putting this, whatever. Hopefully he makes something out of this podcast.
Yeah.
But guys, like I said, we'll catch you next week. And if nobody tells you this, I promise you it's true, that Jesus loves you, nerds.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.
Shout out to all them mothers.